Hi, my name is Rick McNary, and this is my Burly Tree series. So this is a burl from a Siberian elm that a farmer by the name of Bruce Regier near Moundridge, Kansas, gave me a few years back. He called up one day when he saw that I was getting into wood turning and said he wanted to give me this log. At the time, I had neither the skill set nor the equipment to handle such ravishing beauty. Inside of that tree is exquisite wood. But I picked up my game and started to turn a few things. Here's one of the bowls that I turned. Here's another one. And yet another one. So I'm getting ready to turn this irregular beauty. The first thing I do is sharpen my tools. That's my roughing gouge. And this is my fingernail gouge. Those two tools are two of the most common ones that I use. And sharpening equipment is incredibly important. You can see this is pretty irregular. I've screwed my face plate in and put my live center on and ready to go. Put my Hayes FFA gloves on and get my speed set about 800 RPM to begin with. And then get ready to start turning. Throwing chips. This is my rest. I put it just a little bit below the line of center of the shaft. And you'll notice there is a hardened steel tip to that. That helps whenever the tool gets grabbed by the wood to keep it from putting a divot in the rest. So I begin the process of getting it into shape. You'll see me every once in a while lay the tool on top. That's an easy way for me to see if it's in round yet. If it bounces, it's still not round. There we go. With an odd shape like this, I have to kind of let the wood tell me what it's going to do. So I put that mark there knowing that's about how far in my screws go, and I don't want to go past that much. And then just try to figure out what the wood allows me to do in order to shape it, so I don't lose the beauty and the exquisite and complex burl. I've just put a Forstner bit in and I'm hollowing it out. Now the next step is a little more difficult and tedious. This is a carbide bit tool, an easy wood tool. It's a hollowing tool, which of course means it's going to hollow out the inside of the bowl. So one of the things that I'm thinking about as I'm doing this is to make sure that I don't take too much out and off the top, because I love the burl part and I don't want to compromise that. So I'm trying to figure out how to get as much of it out as I possibly can and still not damage that exquisite texture that's on top of the bowl. It truly is a remarkable piece of wood. Now I'm going to turn that just a little bit more and get it hollowed out like I want it. Now I'm going to go from a top view and show you how I will start disconnecting the bowl from the faceplate. So I know where my screws are and I don't want to dig into them. So I take this parting tool and start working in there, kind of rounding out the bottom of the bowl. I'm looking again at the shape and saying, what is the wood going to let me do to give it a little bit of form? So I'm going to grab an easy wood carbide bit round tool. I'm still using my bowl gouge now, one of my favorite tools. This is a carbide one and I'm giving it a little bit more shape that I can't do. That round also kind of dresses it out a little bit. And I do like the way that looks. I'll sand it a little bit on the outside. Often we sand bowls on the inside when they're here too, but with that irregular edge, that just isn't going to happen without hurting the sandpaper and hurting me in the process. So I'll take another grit down. That's about 600 grit that I'm working with. And I like shellac. Shellac really penetrates this burl because it's a very porous wood. And shellac hardens quickly, dries quickly, and is able to be built up and have a luster to it. The nice thing also about shellac is it doesn't show brush marks. So I'm again going to rough it up and buff it up a little bit. And then I take a coping saw and cut it all the way off. I'm fortunate to have a big belt sander that gives me a nice flat bottom to the bowl. Now here's a little tool that I use. That little apparatus is made of rubber, and so I'm pumping it up actually with the sandpaper sleeve that I put over the top of that. And that's an easy way for me to sand the inside of that bowl without ripping my fingers to shreds. So putting another coat of shellac on the inside, putting some on top, letting it kind of soak down into the texture of the burls. And the beauty of this wood is just astonishing. I call it irregular beauty. Doing good with wood. I've made a number of these pieces and I've helped feed hungry children. Subscribe. Follow my updates. Thanks and God bless.